Back with another episode of Circle of Trades. I am Todd Studer in the virtual studio again. It is Travis Waldstein, Air Serv Heating and Air Conditioning, and Waldstein Plumbing. Well, how's your world?
My world is got my shop cleaned up yesterday. Pretty happy about it. So
yeah, well, from what I can see in the background, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, so I got got my banners up. Always got my banners up. Yeah, a lot of stuff. We had some. I had a trailer full of motors that I had to get cut up for scrap, and just doing stuff around here. You need to, I need the mow. Grass is about 2 foot friggin' tall right now. So I got a lot of stuff I need to do today. I got a lot of stuff that I frankly don't want to do today. I'm almost thinking, it is Memorial Day as we're talking here today, but it seems like a good day. This sounds like a good day, drinking day. I'm okay with it. I got a lot of stuff done. I was really happy with stuff I got done yesterday. So, it's just stuff that's been kind of lingering for a while. You just need to get it done. Well, I got through it yesterday, and I was like, hell yeah. So now I gotta go back. I gotta retake my Class B license. I failed the first time around, which is not unusual. So I'm gonna go take that test again. I need to get into that, but I'm not gonna lie. The last week, like I said, last 10 days, it's good, but just lots of stuff going on. So it's like, vegging today isn't necessarily a bad thing. So
yeah, and you're obviously dealing with a lot of things that people are dealing with all across the country that are in business. Fuel prices have done a lot, and it just kind of filters down into everything. And that has caused what I would consider to be a pretty drastic increase just for you to get supplies in, right?
Oh, it's terrible. Well, fuel costs. I mean, my fuel bill basically doubled in April from fuel prices going up. So, as I say, I'd rather burn $5 diesel than buy an electric car. But when you're burning $5 diesel, it sucks. HVAC stuff, materials going up. We actually switched over our service pricing to help us keep up on materials, which has been good. Equipment pricing, like I said, we had an 8% price increase, May 22nd. The manufacturers, all the manufacturers came out and, had a price. The federal government's protecting us from each other is suing all the HVAC contractors for collusion on pricing. It's like, well, okay, when everybody's steel goes up at the same time, when everybody's copper goes up, everybody's aluminum goes up at the same time, and those materials, if you're all raising prices, I don't see what the problem is. But if one's raising it, 8, the other one's raising it 15, I don't see where that's collusion. But evidently, if you all raise it 12%, that's collusion. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't. I mean, I understand why you don't want to be irrational, but yeah, it's affected everybody. I mean, it's it's kind of crazy what's getting out there as far as equipment goes, and plumbing side's been, plumbing side's like weekly, we'll get price increases. PVC you bought in April might be 2 months later, it's it's gone up 25%. Why? Well, cost production, cost of transportation. It's just, welcome to the business world, and the dollar's not worth what it used to be. So I add that into the equation. So,
well, we're dealing with all of this just the way the rest of the country is, but specifically in Southwest Iowa, everybody's feeling a pinch.
Oh yeah,
it's tough.
It is. Everybody's. Unfortunately, you can bitch and complain about it, or you can just. You just got to move on. Unfortunately, it's a cost of business, I mean, people find anything to bitch about, but, what do you do? So can't do stuff for practice, and, and everybody's got a situation. I get it. I don't want to be cold or callous or heartless or whatever, but that's the reality of it. So, but, so we just, you just keep putzing away. So, but it's really, I mean, it kind of is what it is. So,
Yeah, you can complain about it and you can wish things were different, but it doesn't change anything. It's still your reality. It's still what you have to deal with. It's still that in order for you to be able to stay in business, prices also kind of pinch on your clients too. And that's just reality. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not anything that you can really do something about, I don't think.
No, you can't. It's one of them deals. So, other thing we've been dealing with lately is technology. And when I say technology, we're going to talk marketing. And no, we're not talking low sales media. We're not talking about podcasts here. So, but okay, I'm going to call for what I said. All right. I listen, I have to present a percentage on marketing. That's just how it is. It's just, we're in a needs business. We're not in a wants business. And that's just the reality for the type of business we are. HVAC plumbing, no one wants the furnace guy or the plumber in their house unless they got something, they really want. And it happens, right? So, I mean, it's kind of like, okay, so, but here's the thing. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at. There's one guy that thinks I'm full of shit, but that's I got told that at Baumgart's 2 weeks ago, and I had to laugh and smile at him. So he's not very happy with me. So, but as far as trying to run a business, if I'm getting back to it, I'm good at HVAC. I'm good at estimating, sizing, look at stuff, understand airflow and system performance and all that good stuff. Good to have no issue talking to customers. Love talking to customers, having that relationship. That's always a good whatever. But but it's not always, that's not part of it. When you have to do the marketing part. Well, guess what? If I want to be a marketer, I'd have went to school for marketing. You know what I did not go to school for? I did not go to school for marketing.
Right.
So I could figure out what the hell Google's doing and algorithms and AI bots and all this other crap that everybody's got you buying into. You go on the internet, oh, you got to do AI. You got to do this. You got to do that. It's like, I had a conversation the other day with someone in my corporate office for Air Servant. She's the marketing gal. She's like, I'm trying to make this easier so you can do it yourself. You don't understand. I don't want to do it at all. Right. There's a difference between doing it myself and doing it, period. I said, if I got to do it, it ain't getting done. I'm going to pay somebody to do it. And she went, really? I said, yeah. I said, well, it's 10 minutes here and 15 minutes there. And I'm like, there are enough 10, 15 minutes in a day for me. So I've already got more irons in the fire than I go with. We got the HVAC business with Air Servant, then of course got Waldstein Plumbing, and like I said, we're involved a little bit with Rustic Cuts, not much. I mean, Donnie Woods is doing a great job with that, and that's actually, I think, taken off pretty well for him since he bought it.
Yeah, I've been seeing him online a lot.
Yeah, I've been seeing him online, which is great. And if you're a one man like him, you're starting out and you do the Facebook, that's the stuff he needs to do. That's great. You know what? But I don't want to do it. Hell, you go into Facebook now, all it is damn commercials. I don't even look at Facebook. Hardly Facebook is like gone away because that's all it is. I go to Twitter or X, whatever it is now. And yes, it's the grunge of the earth, but at least I don't get all the commercials and,
right.
Now I get all the AI, the grok and all that other stuff, but at least I can see people have conversation. Facebook is just like, this is just a waste of time, unless you get someone like from Council Plus chat, that's whatever. So, but that's the thing. I mean, it's all advertising. It's all marketing. It's like, it's not even fun at this point. It's like, this sucks. But yeah, I can't believe I'm the only person this way. You have to do it as far as business, but what's your time worth?
Yeah.
Would I rather do marketing or would I go hang out with my grandkids for 2 hours? That's a pretty easy decision. And I don't feel like doing marketing. I'm going with grandkids. Very easy decision. There's some things I don't want to do. Very easy decision.
Well, I do think though, what you're talking about is these are things that you don't want to do. Not that they don't need to be done.
100%.
You get it.
It has to be done.
It's just not you.
No, and that's the thing. It's like, It's like you. It's like, listen, as Toby Keith said, what about me? What do I want to do? Well, you know what? I'd rather pay somebody to help me with marketing, and I'll go out and do what I want to do, what I'm good at, and what I enjoy doing, and the stuff I don't enjoy doing. Why sit around and beat my head in the office about it, or beat my head in the shop, or whatever? So, I don't know. I've been running that a lot. It's like, okay, you could do it yourself. I don't want to do it, period. So I don't know. I've been running that lately. It's just like, between that and self help and, there's deal sported. Hey, do you want to lose belly fat? Well, yeah, I'd love to lose belly fat. Well, do this 90-day detox. It's like, no, that sounds freaking terrible. I guess, maybe I'll go for a walk. Maybe I'll mix in a salad. I don't know. It's, I just, the AI, the whole self marketing deals. What part of I don't want to do it do you not understand? So, not me personally. I'll be more than happy to pay somebody to do it. I'll listen. I say that I don't know anything about marketing. I know more about marketing than I care to know about marketing, and it's kind of one of the deals. Don't tell me what you can't do. Tell me what you can't do, and we'll have a much better conversation.
That sounds fair.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that, and I think that's a good philosophy to have.
yeah,
That focus on what you do. Focus on what you do well. You're good at HVAC. You're good at plumbing. You're good at running those companies. If somebody else is better at doing some other part of it that is necessary, then let them do it.
yeah.
Because in the end, you're going to make more money hiring it out than you are trying to do it yourself.
100%, and that's what people don't understand. It's like, come on, folks. So, yeah, I've just been inundated with this stuff, and I said it. Well, so once a month I'll go back to my franchise. And since I'm right picking on them, we might as well pick on them a little bit more. They have once a month what they call a town hall, where you get there, you get some updates, and kind of a one-way conversation. Big Brother's dictating down to us little midget, us little, franchise owners, us that don't know anything. They're all knowing, and we should be bowing down to them. So, right. I sat here, and it was about 5 minutes. They introduced a new president. Then he went to 15 minutes. Oh, you could do this stuff. You could run your own email keeping. Like, I fell asleep. I'm sitting there watching I'm actually watching a rerun, and I'm like, this is freaking terrible. I mean, it's like, I said, if there's information, if I want to learn about great, I don't need a 30-minute of how I could do it myself. I just don't need it. So, and when you start talking algorithms and all this other stuff, it's like, there's people that get paid a lot of money to do that stuff. I just got no interest. So, but
no. I'm on board with you. I just still have to do a lot of it myself in the stage that I'm at.
Oh, I understand that, but it's one of them deals where it's like, I'm not good at it, and I don't want to learn to be good at it. So I'd like to get better at golf. I'm a terrible golfer. There's a novel thought. Maybe I figure out a better golf game or something, So, I don't know. That's what I'd rather get good at. So that
way, you're starting to sound like a retired person.
Well, no, it's when my youngest comes home. I'm from the Marine Corps next year. He doesn't kick my ass all over the golf courses locally, because I know who's going to be going with him. It ain't going to be his brother, because his brother's got twins. It's going to be me. So, and I don't need to look like a schmuck hitting a ball around. So I kind of need to get half serious about this. So,
well, also I think that for me anyway, the point of being out on the golf course is not how well I shoot, because here's what I've noticed. We'll just switch it over to about golf. I could be hitting the ball really well. I could be hitting the ball just like garbage. In the end, my score is the same.
That's true. You're not going to get an argument from me. Yeah. There are people, let's go to Top Golf. Okay, let's go to Top Golf so I can show everybody how bad I am at swinging a freaking club. This sounds freaking great.
Yeah, because there was one time that, let's see, I played 9 holes over at what was then Fox Run. It's now Whispering Woods.
Yep.
And I think I shot a 47 on the 9 holes, which is not a great score, but
better than I do.
But I had 7 tap-ins on the greens. So
There you go.
then I start doing the math. And I start saying, well, those 7 tap ins, if I'd have just made those putts, now I'm at a 40. That's only just, 4 over par. Well, now I've got something. Oh, I'm right there. No, I'm not.
No, you're not. No, when you hit the ball 10 foot off the tee, and then you got to use your 5 wood because it's the only thing you can hit to drive the ball. People are driving 7 irons longer than I'm driving my fucking 5 wood. So it's like,
Yeah.
of course, everybody says it's because you don't put any speed on it. Well, I don't know. Like I said, you can't stretch fat, but sometimes fat don't want to move real fast either. I don't know what else to put it. So I actually like golfing to a point, but it's like if you're not good at it, it's like, oh God. So
Well, yeah, it's the being outside. It is socially acceptable to drink beer at 9 a.m. Yeah, it's all of these different things that are associated with it.
yeah, I went here about 3 weeks ago. We went down to Tregear and down. I think this was down Bellevue. Went with Micah Myers. Went with Micah Myers, Nate Bosick, and Drake Roller. And this 9 o'clock in the morning. You know what I don't do at 9 o'clock in the morning? You just play golf. And it actually was like, that was actually a lot of fun to get out there and do it in the morning. It's like I didn't really give a shit what else was going on. It's like, maybe there's something to this doing this in the morning. It's like I don't know. So do something for me.
By the time you're done, if you play golf in the morning, if you're out there first thing and you're still dealing with the dew that are on the ground and everything else, by the time you're done, it's like 1 o'clock and you still got your day.
Yeah, that is true.
So, so now you can, after everything has gone horrible on the golf course, you still have a chance to make yourself feel better with the rest of what you're going to do.
That is true. That's very true. So, but yeah, no, that was a good time actually. So I should do more than that. Like I said, I've been over to Whisper Woods. I golfed that a couple times a year. It's usually where I end up golfing. So I know Dave Lawrence has got his Sail and Fly High tournament. I know we're sponsoring that again this year. So I'll get a 12-pack of Swarm out of it, and there'll be some bad golf.
Exactly.
Yeah, but so I go out there and it is what it is. So yeah, I don't golf because I'm good. I don't care about the Gucci shorts or all this other stuff. I'm not out there as a trend center. I could be out there in my fucking bib overalls. I'd be fine with it. So maybe I'd take the cutoff version out there. So give the girls some legs to look at. So.
I don't know. No, please. It's bad enough you just put that image in my head.
Oh God. So, but no, like I said, so that's kind of fun stuff. Get into summertime, obviously. Just plumbing's got a lot of stuff going on right now. Actually, HVAC does too. We're into the Westburn Oaks project. If you're driving out on Greenview Road, you can see that them buildings going up. They've got 132 plex. It's a little over half done. They got to come in drywall and stuff, but starting to see the downhill on that. They've got the second 32 plex going up, clubhouses there, and they're starting to move right along. They're digging holes and they're getting stuff done. So, that project, I think now, kind of getting through the first building, you kind of see is, okay, we've done enough of this here. We kind of see what it is. We should be able to pick up some speed on it and get through it. So that's been exciting. I know a couple other projects I've had pop up on my radar as far as stuff goes, as far as commercial projects goes. And it seems like these apartment complexes, the one thing I'll say, I said, I think Walsh and Brandy Gear, I'm going to give them some credit here today, which I know will shock everybody, but
shocking me.
Yeah, I know. So, obviously the housing is kind of a big deal. I know it's not at the Dodge Park golf course and we're not building a trolley. So I'm going to throw them under the bus for that because I thought it was a terrible idea. But, but with some of these other developments, the South Point we did with Eagle, there's gonna be phase 2 to that. They thought it might be a year and a half, and they've already said they might start earlier in the fall or in the springtime with that. Whispering Oaks there on Greenview. They're saying by midsummer they're going to have people in the apartments there. So,
Wow.
so I mean, and so people are wanting to get out and be independent, and um, do some, get being independent, or have the apartment style living. So there's definitely a need. I guess I didn't realize how much of a need there was, but the rent they're paying, you kind of go, holy cow, you could pay a house payment with it, but they don't want all the headache and hassle thrown in the house. So it's like,
Well,
okay,
it's not even just that though, Travis. It's what houses are available.
well, there is,
Yeah, you can't, you could, in an ideal world, but we have
yeah,
such a limited amount of availability for
yeah,
family owned homes around here.
yeah.
And I get too that apartments are not a 100% solution for everything, but it is part of the issue, and
Well,
it's part of the solution. And you can't do everything all at the same time.
yeah, well, that was kind of their forefront of stuff going on. Whether you agree with it or not, I mean, people need to have places. People need to have places to live, and it is what it is. Iowa Western's doing some remodel of their older ones this year. We're involved with that. The new diesel truck deals going up there. No, it's not the buildings along Highway 6. That's the new data center that everybody's complaining about on Facebook. And I'm like, okay, you're at Facebook complaining about a data center. That's kind of like the biggest. Or I'm sorry, you're at Facebook bitching about a data center, and you're the whole reason right there. It's because people look at Facebook and Snapchat and keep their face in their damn phone and bitch all day. So don't sit there and go on Facebook and bitch about it. You can't have it both ways. Sorry. So
Okay, yeah, there's probably a lot of truth to that.
well, I mean, come on. I mean, I'm sorry, yeah, it's an area to see the water, whatever, but we talked about this 20 years ago when they talked about the Silicon Prairie, wanting to, have all these jobs and data centers and whatever, and nobody can live without this damn thing,
Right.
So I mean, I'm as guilty as anybody else when it comes to it, I got a phone, I got a tablet, got I don't know how many computers. I mean, you just have stuff, and what do you do? I
Right.
mean, so um, but that's going on up there. I mean, that built. I mean, I don't know if you've been by there here recently, but they're putting partition walls up, and I mean, it's that project. They'll have a roof on that thing in 30 to 45 days. I guarantee it. So, and it looks like there's more than one building going on up there. Um, so, but definitely interesting stuff going on. We'll see with the industry what do we bring for jobs in the town. That's always kind of the whatever. So, I know Advanced Southwest Iowa's involved with that. I'm not against Southwest Iowa, but there's certain people I have certain opinions about that I'll be nice. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
The
So,
opinions expressed on Circle of Trades with Australia Travis Waldstein is not necessarily represent the
represent
views of
Todd
Left Media
Studer.
or subsidiaries.
I
Yeah,
didn't say anything bad. I just said, there might be a difference of opinion with some people. But it is an avenue. It is an arm that to bring um, projects. I know, the Convention of Visitors Bureau is actually maybe looking at some stuff to maybe help with bringing industry, into community, which is fun. And then of course, then the whole homeless issue keeps coming up too, and unfortunately nobody has the right answer for that. And I don't blame anybody for trying. It's, you, you know, it, here's what I'll say. It's a blessing and a curse. We are very fortunate to have some of the facilities we have in Omaha and Council Bluffs for, um, Heartland Family Services, Mom's House, the Sierra Friends House for the homeless. We have very good services. If you're homeless or have an issue, there is a great support system around here. So I'm not knocking the support system. The downside to that is we have a great support system. So, and it's like anything else. When you find out you have a good thing coming, you're going to attract people. That's how that works. So, and I'm not saying we should push anybody away, but it's kind of how do you address that? Um, that's a tough conversation because I don't want to see anybody be homeless. I don't. I 100%, I think it's crazy that in 2026 in the greatest country on earth that we got homeless people living in the streets.
Mhm.
To me, it's just crazy. But, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that I have the answer for it. Um, and that's why Jenny Ed, along with Katie Health, built that 90 bed, um, um, mental hospital basically.
Right.
Out of that, they had the open house, and that my wife works at Jenny, so we went to the open house, did a tour. I'm going to tell you what, it's a it's a very nice facility. I got a chance to talk to the head doctor there. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to butcher his name because I will. But I asked him about it just a little bit, and I said, I've heard because I said you guys take anybody from Chadron to Davenport and Sioux Falls and Kansas City. He says, yeah. I said if there's beds in the 5-state area, they'll come here, and you know that's part of the reason why they put it. And they figure it'll probably take them a year to fill it. I told him, I said I think it'll be 6 months. He goes, as long as we got the staff to handle the people, that's kind of what your schedule's going to be. So, but they have a kids wing of that too, which I think is good. I'd be kind of curious to see what kind of outpatient services they offer for the
Mhm.
community. And listen, I'm not going to sit here that I'm Mr. Mental Health and I know anything. I know very little about it, except what I do know is that there are definitely services needed. I've probably seen it more in the last year and a half than I had beforehand. So, there's definitely services needed, and it's just a matter of where can you find the services? What's out there? What can you do to help? What's the qualifiers? That kind of stuff. So there is a need for it, no doubt about it. Branstead basically back in 2017 killed it for a lot of people, and we've been recovering ever since. So I'm glad to see the programs are out there. How you coordinate all this stuff. I mean, there's so many tentacles, on the whole thing. You know, I don't know. There's just a lot of things, and I'm not gonna fault anybody for trying, but I think some of the people that with some of their thoughts are, I don't want to say short sighted, but maybe not looking at big picture because
Right.
unfortunately, it's going to take a lot of people to come up with solutions, and unfortunately, it's not a popular subject to talk about, So that's where it gets to be a tough conversation. Because it's more fun to talk about, walls and parks and all that other stuff. It's not fun to talk about the mental health part of it. So,
Well, it's a area that I believe in passionately and try to help out wherever I can. There's a walk coming up as we're recording this in a few days down in Clarinda that I'll be a part of. And yeah, nearly all the beds were taken away all across the state. And the
mm-hmm.
fact that we are getting a new facility is a start. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it's enough, but it is a start.
Yeah.
And you have to do the start before you can get to the point to where everything is back, hopefully closer to where it needs to be. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm encouraged by what has happened. I'm encouraged by the folks over at Jenny for investing in this and for making all of this happen, not just financially, but there's been a lot of people involved, a lot of time involved, a lot of
Oh,
things that could have been spent doing something else. They spent doing this, and it's very important, and it speaks highly about it.
and I think since COVID too, and listen, we go back, we blame COVID for everything. I can blame COVID for Iowa not winning the national championship. I can blame COVID for
Yeah, no,
Nebraska stinking. I throw my Nebraska through in there. So there, I can blame COVID for anything. But unfortunately, for being serious about it, I think COVID. I know how it's affected my family. My wife worked in ICU during COVID, and I know some of the I'll say challenges she's had. I mean, my wife's a tough bird. Don't kid yourself. But if you didn't think COVID wasn't hard on the nurses and stuff that were
Mhm.
out there dealing with it all the time, you're living under a rock. And that's just the nursing. That's not the patients and not a lot of other stuff. And how what they knew to be the norm for the last 75 or 100 years all of a sudden was gone. And things were taken away. You were told your job was not essential. A lot of stuff that happened during COVID that should have never happened. But it's what happens when you have politicians, tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing. But unfortunately, it's a big problem, and I'm not one to sit here and stand that and be the champion of it or say that I've been through, and I haven't, because I don't know where to start, and frankly, I'm just one voice and in a community where there's lots of voices that probably know a lot more about than I do. I'm just glad to see that it's out there. I'm glad to see that there's services. I'm glad to see people are, it's a priority. I'm just hoping that when we're spending money, or if you're hiring people, we're doing it for the right decision. We don't need more bureaucracy. We need solutions. And unfortunately, sometimes solutions take time. And but that's just
movement.
Yeah, and movement. And listen, you're going to make mistakes. I mean, it is what it is. So. We make mistakes every day. I mean, I got up this morning. I probably should have stayed in bed the way I feel right now. That would have been a mistake. Oh, I don't know. I feel pretty good, actually.
No, I can relate to that.
So,
but, there's been days. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But a lot of stuff going on. So, a lot of stuff going on in the community. A lot of stuff we can be proud of. There's challenges, coming in the summertime, hopefully there's some good events. I know we're going to participate in the Underwood July 4th parade. I'm pretty excited about that. Actually, nothing against Celebrate CB. And I like Celebrate CB too. And I couldn't participate this year because I went to Avoca for their open house at their fire station. So I feel bad about that because I actually really enjoy Celebrate CB. But I'm going to tell you that Underwood parade, if you have not gone up to Underwood for a small town parade, I mean, that town 10 times for what it is for the parade. And when you're pulling the 30-foot excavator behind your pick, everybody notices.
Are you going to power wash that thing and get it all clean, or are you taking it through muddy?
Yeah, as long as somebody doesn't try to put a freaking Husker license plate holder in the front of my truck like someone did last year. Yeah, that didn't go over very well. But
knew that there's practical jokes, and then there is fireable offenses.
You don't touch my truck. Yeah, you can say a lot of stuff. You can poke fun at me. You need to put something else, but you don't touch my truck. That one's going to probably get my attention in a bad way. All
righty, my man. It's been a early start to the summer, I think, and we haven't even officially made it to summer yet. But it's coming very soon, and you just keep grinding. You just keep doing what you do. You get up every day and you do it again, and that's how this thing is working. And that's what I keep telling myself.
That's the only thing I know how to do. If I stopped grinding, I wouldn't know what the hell to do myself.
Exactly.
But
all right, grateful as always.
Yep. Talk soon.
We will sit down and talk again very soon, and hopefully solve a few more of the world's problems. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Circle of Trades. Come back, check for new episodes every week. We'll talk to you again soon.